So I've had a relatively strange but kind of cool thing happening to me recently, and it's like a revealing type thing. Veil bro, scale bro. The veil bro, scale bro thing I say all the time is just a shorthand for when I still do. When I talk about the veil falling down, and the scales coming off your eyes in the like in the Bible. We're able to see things now we couldn't see before, as their veil of illusion is disintegrating. And I've had all the regular ways that people have discussed seeing things more. I just went through a whole thing last week about movies and music and stuff, but to see things, people's intent, the way things work, and to visually see things too. Like, I always use the example of like Michelle Obama, like when she came out on Ellen. I didn't see that she had something swinging down there. It was swinging down there, but I didn't see it at the time. It was only later, a few years ago, when we're starting to see this kind of stuff, we're like, oh my God, she has a thing swinging down there. Or just like when I told my story about doing research in the archives and having these giant books that were supposed to be field books, excuse me, that had to be handled by two guys to open. Like, it's weird. It's like, why would you need two people to open this book? It was clearly oversized for normal people, but even though I was looking at it, holding it, and working with it, it never crossed my mind that it was out of the ordinary. I didn't see it. So it's not, it's a weird thing that's going on. You're not perceiving some things, or you're perceiving things now that you haven't before, basically. As the veil comes down and the scales are removed from the eyes, it's the apocalypse, basically. And when people hear the word apocalypse, they usually think like Mad Max or something. It's not that at all. It's just basically means the revealing. It's a revealing. And that's it. It's been portrayed as a really harsh and terrible thing in the Hollywood movies, because for them, that's what the revealing would be. It would be horrible. It's bad for them. You see these things like, the tropes of Armageddon movies, like the earth cracking open, or, smoke filling the sky, all this stuff, all this sort of very doomy end of the world type stuff. It's because it's the end of the world for them. It's horrible for them. They're depicting it as it's going to happen to them. It's not like that for us. It's just a revealing. It's all it means. But that's just small T twisted perceptions. Everything is so messed with. So what happens recently, or what started happening recently, is I can see words and things. Like I was just earlier taking some pictures in the room for my Instagram page, the one I have my collection on, and I was looking at this Batman artwork, and he's standing in smoke, and in the smoke you can see a word there, and I'll put it up there so you can see it. And I've been seeing stuff like that in swirly type stuff, like clouds, or I guess what else is swirling? I haven't really looked at cotton candy lately, but maybe there's something there. But where there could be something hidden, I'm starting to see those things. In conjunction with this, I'm starting to get a lot of minor hallucinations, like dark things moving in the room. I always think it's some kind of spider. I've always had this, though. I've had this since I was a kid. Yeah, so that's not out of the ordinary, but I haven't had that happen in a long time. You know, it's been a while since I've had that happen. But that's been coming back too at the same time. Nothing really auditory, although auditory used to be a big problem for me. Even as a kid, like I'd run out of my bed at like in the middle of the night and run to my parents and be like, "Whoa, what do you want?" And they're like, "We're not calling you, spaz, you know what I mean? What are you talking about?" And that's always happened to me, still happens to me. So I get the auditory stuff. But as far as, you know, serious things, like I don't get any of that. Like I haven't gotten any change there. Like I don't think anyone's talking to me electronically yet. But yeah, it's not like that. But I'm definitely getting more of those. I'm reading things and stuff. And those are just two kind of areas I never really had, or I haven't had this happen up until now. So it's really cool. I mean, there's been other things along the way. Like, you know, I can see in some people, looking at a picture of them, I can kind of know if they're on our team or not. That's a sort of a relatively new thing. Sometimes it jumps out at you and it shows you, you know, not literally, but you know what I mean, the place, your mind's eye, you know, the place between thought and eyesight, where something is registered with a system that we don't know anything about or how it works. There's a lot of things like that that we have, because I think we, in these avatars, in these bodies that we're either in or broadcasting to, used to be set to do a bunch of different things. It was originally, in my opinion, a school or a learning area. So I think there were, I guess, abilities that we had that we would use to interact with some of the lessons that were designed for this place. So, and I think a lot of those were shut off or had a governor put on them, or a limiter, like when you're driving a delivery truck or something, or a company car, and you have it set so you can't go over a certain limit. It's like that, because there are things like that place between the eyesight and thought thing, like where you kind of just know it, and it's not just intuitive, but it feels like, you know, just the same feeling as looking at something or talking, right? It's like a natural thing that just, you can feel it happening, like it just starts, it's with me anyway. And when it's happening, it's like you can almost grab that moment and be like, oh, this is that. But it slips away right before you can get to that. You know, it's like, oh wait, I know what this is. No, it's not smell. I already had smell. It's like, oh, I know what this is. No, I could already hear things before. So it's like, you got on a checklist, you know? I don't want to scream in these guys' ears. But, yeah, as things sort of ramp up, good things happen too. The revealing is going to get really crazy. I don't know how crazy it's going to get. If it's going toward what we really are and what we really do, then I think it would happen in a way that we would remember the usage of these senses or whatever. So it's not going to be like a total shock. It's kind of like how it's been now. That's what I think. Like it's been gradually happening, even though it seems fast sometimes. Time's all screwed up anyway. It was fucking time, right? So apparently it's sped up recently to a point where the mainstream science boys had to print some articles about what's making the day shorter and time speed up is the axis of the Earth and how it's shifting. And of course it has to do with gravity. That's the magical bullshit component for everything. They just, you know, they have complete theories built around gravity, which have become pretty much science-backed or settled science in their world, based on the theory of gravity. You see the problem here. And a lot of the stuff is, well, we'll just stick gravity in the hole and that. And it's very much, it isn't the case of they're trying to figure something out. They know what the end result is. What they're trying to figure out is a way to make it seem even barely passable to you for an explanation. And they don't try that hard. You know, when people used to be a lot more engaged, I guess, and they read more and were smarter, I guess is what, you know, the point is. I think it would have been harder to pull some of this stuff up. I think citizens would actually be concerned. No one is concerned now. No one knows what place they're a citizen of, even, like, for real. It's gotten bad. I don't know if you noticed, but it's gotten pretty bad. But yeah, the revealing thing's awesome. I hope I'll give more examples if I get any good ones over the past couple of days, or whenever. I'll just you know, keep updating on that, because it's fun. It's crazy to see things like that, or to feel that this is happening. I mean, it's been happening. It's just, this is a new wrinkle. I just explained it like 4 times, so this is where I'm hitting the road. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.